Hello, YouTube. My name is Suicide for Celluloid. Kemp10101, I think is his name. He posted another video response to me, and I think that rather than directly addressing the concerns that he has with the argument that I was making, I'm just going to finally do something that I talked about doing a while ago, and I'm going to give an explication of Kant's thought. And again, I mentioned this in a previous video, but the point here, well, let me talk quickly about the rules. It will not begin in this video. It's going to begin in, I don't think I have time to do all of them today, but maybe I can do this one and one more today. And hopefully they'll be about 10 minutes long. I wanted to do 3 philosophers, but for now I'm just going to do Kant. And I'm going to do Kant in 3 parts. I'm going to be limiting myself to the critique of pure reason, because it's the foundational work for his system. It's you could make a good case that it's the most important work of philosophy ever written, and that case has been made before, but I think it's very important. Now, the first part is going to be about Kant's problem, the problem that Kant was trying to work through, the issue that he's trying to work through. And the issues that he's trying to work through have to do with David Hume. But, and some of you might think this is heresy, I'm not going to explicate Hume's version of this problem. I'm going to explicate Kant's reading of Hume's problem. So it's going to be in Kantian language. It's not going, so I'm going to be talking about synthetic judgments and analytic judgments rather than inductive and deductive reason, right? So some of you might say that's heresy, but I think that it's probably the best way to go, just for the sake of the goals that I'm trying to get to. Now, these are going to be fairly short videos, and these are by no means decisive. But alright, the first video is Kant's problem. The second video is Kant's solution. And that one's going to be for you, Kemp, and I'm going to try and hit the issues that you raise in that video. And then the third is going to be Kant's defense of Christianity. Mind you, it's not a proof of Christianity. I think he thinks that that's a stupid thing to try and do. So you won't get any of that William Lane Craig, it's logically and inescapably blah 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 blah. You won't get any of that out of these videos or out of Kant's philosophy. It's the other thing too is that I'm not a Kantian, and I've said that in other videos. I'm not a Kantian, but Kant does sort of inaugurate the tradition of philosophy that I feel most at home in, beginning with German idealism. Kant is the sort of beginning of German idealism, followed by Schelling, Fichte, and Hegel. And then after that, and there are great criticisms of Kant from Schoenberg to Nietzsche, and to Heidegger as well. And then after that would be someone like Adorno. Did I mention Hegel in there? I really, really hope I did, because he's probably the most important post-Kantian. But Adorno follows that, and in the modern day, someone like Zizek is trying to carry on the mantle. That's sort of a genealogy of philosophy that I feel really at home in. I'm not going to say I'm necessarily, you know, gung ho about it, but I just happen to like the thought a lot. So also I'm going to trace the line that I find in the critique of pure reason that that leads to his defense of Christianity. There's a lot of other stuff in there, and it's a whole breathtakingly large system of philosophy that then continues in the critique of practical reason, which is, if you've read Kant in college or something, you probably stuck to the critique of practical reason, which is his ethical philosophy, which he gives sort of a brief explication of in the critique of pure reason, but his most fully developed version is the critique of practical reason, followed by the critique of judgment, and that sort of makes up, the three critiques sort of make up the heart of Kant's system. There are a lot of criticisms of these positions. I'm also going to give a very boring reading of these positions. I'm going to give a very conventional reading of these positions. I don't necessarily want to give a radical reading of these things, though that kind of thing can be really interesting. See Foucault reading Kant's essay, What is Enlightenment? Incredible. Radical rereadings of Kant are really, really cool. That's not the purpose here. The purpose is to show a way of thinking about Christianity and a way of thinking about philosophy that is much more satisfying, though I don't buy it, obviously I'm an atheist, but it's much more satisfying than someone like William Lane Craig, because I think a lot of the sort of new atheists that subscribe, well, I don't know how many subscribe to me, but I think a lot of the new atheist community see William Lane Craig and have this bad taste in their mouth about philosophy, what philosophy is about, why we do philosophy, why all of this, and they also end up with a really bizarre conception of what the philosophy of Christianity is like. So I'm going to try and do all of those things. So this is going to be really ambitious, and I'll probably only get through the first one today, which would be Kant's problem.